Hello people, I am JABY KOAY, and I'm gonna respond to some super chat comments as well as some other random comments. If you don't know what super chat comments are, it's where people generously contribute to get their questions highlighted during a YouTube live stream, which I just did the other day. They're pretty fun, actually. I like hanging out with you guys and just getting random questions and answering them on the fly like that. So the reason I'm doing this is because I miss at least half of these, because I'll answer one question, and when I'm answering that question, I'm just looking directly at the lens to connect with you guys as best as I can and not get distracted by the other questions and comments coming in. I wish I could answer everyone's questions, but unfortunately it's like, I'm just one dude trying to let's get into this. So super chat comment number 1 comes from Akash Gupta. I kind of answered this, but I'll answer it again here. Best DSLR camera for photos and video recording at a near $700 budget. I would say that your best bet is something like a Canon T6i or T5i. Those are more older, and I think they'll come with a lens. They're cheap enough and they have HD quality. They're sufficient for YouTube. Next question. Actually, it's not a question, it's just Rohit Amanwar. I'm just giving you a shout out. Thank you so much for your generous contribution. Really appreciate it, dude. Giresh Yadav, have you got any offers from Bollywood or Hollywood? Nothing huge that I can say, nothing like a movie, but there are offers coming in for the channel that are very, very interesting, but I can't really talk about them because I can't, it's not good. But there are cool things coming down the pipeline is all I can say. MJ Lakshmi Narayanan. In your opinion, what are the main differences between Bollywood and South Indian movies? Are you able to now distinguish between languages, Indian languages rather? So the main difference I see is just how much it varies in tone. Like I watched Sultan, and the tone did vary going from like serious to kind of goofy, which is, I guess, expected of a Salman Khan film in general, but that's beside the point. The point is that it'll have like these kind of goofy moments and serious moments, but it doesn't feel like so far apart like they're completely different movies. Whereas with, consideration to my American sensibilities in watching film where it's plot driven and the tone is fairly consistent, South Indian movies tend to wildly vary in terms of their tone. Like it could be a very, very serious film in a whimsical sci-fi setting and have brutal violence in what appears to be like the tone that you would experience in like a PG or American standards, PG or PG-13 film, meaning it'd be suitable for teenagers, but those films they can be really violent. I hate to word it this way, but the kind of cartoonness in terms of some of the action sequences that I'll see sometimes, which I enjoy. I enjoy that as it's like its own category. I enjoy it, but I tend to see that, like people bouncing off the ground and whatnot, I see that more often in South Indian fight scenes than I would in a Bollywood fight scene, for instance. And I think I can tell the difference between the languages, but I'm not quite there yet. Sophia F, love your channel, JABY. Hope you grow even more. Thank you so much, Sophia. Rohit Amanwar contributed again. Thank you, Rohit. Another shout out to you, man. Trinad P, why did you start doing Indian trailers? How did you stumble on the first? When you meet a fan, I think it's more about them. Just your presence makes their day when you meet them, or their birthday. Love your work. Okay. I remember having trouble with this question during the live stream, but I want to try again to answer it. I've answered this first part of the question a number of times, but I'm fine with answering it again. The reason I started doing Indian trailers wasn't deliberate. It wasn't a conscious decision to like go after this Indian market. I noticed that a lot of people are doing that now, and I've been told that a lot of people are copying me, copying my style, copying what I do, and I'm like, I'm not even paying attention to the people who are doing that, to be perfectly honest. I notice them sometimes, but it's not like my main focus. I'm mostly focused on just trying to get content out to you guys. So I started doing Indian trailers just by a sheer chance, to be perfectly honest. Like, I was just looking for content to share with my American audience because I had, or Western audience. I had an audience the size of about 19,000 people, most of whom were Westerners from what I recall. And I wanted to share with them something different because I felt like the reaction market was getting saturated. So I found these Indian trailers. One of them was Nirja, I believe, and I can't remember the name of the other one. And I remember being blown away by them. And I'm like, wow, I'm excited to share this with my American audience. And then Indians started coming to my channel and making requests for me to react to this and that, and it snowballed from there, and I just embraced it with all of myself, and here we are now. I just want to emphasize again that I didn't go after the Indian market. It wasn't something I consciously tried to do. It happened just by accident, by chance, and I'm very, very thankful for it. When you meet a fan, I think it's more about them, just your presence make the, yeah, I totally recognize that. I agree with you, it's more about them, and whenever I meet a fan, I consider that. I was in a mood when a fan met me once. It happened twice actually, because when you're on vacation and you're away from home for a while, sometimes you get in a mood. And there were 2 instances where I was not like very social. I wasn't ready to talk to anybody, but someone said, JABY KOAY, and I looked, and immediately I was like, hey, how's it going? I wanted to be warm with that person because they're a supporter of the channel and I love them and they love me, and it's like, I want that to be a wonderful experience. And so I do my best to make sure that that moment for them is cool. They may forget about it the next day or they may remember it, but I have to count on the possibility that they're gonna remember that moment. If I'm a jerk, they're definitely gonna remember that, and JABY KOAY's an asshole. Uday Veer Singh, hey JABY, love from Australia. I have a question for you. Which was your favorite place that you traveled to in India? Also, do react to more songs. So, towards the end of my Mumbai experience, the first leg of it, I noticed that there were parts of Mumbai that I was seeing that I was like, oh, this is totally different than the other parts of Mumbai that I've been exposed to. Like, this is really cool and awesome. Like, I don't know why I wasn't exposed to this more often. I feel like I need to go to these places again to give you a definitive answer, but I remember being struck by Delhi in a very positive way. I'm like, oh, okay. And I think the only reason why is because I was getting mildly homesick and it reminded me of home. Like, Delhi feels very much like Los Angeles to me, whereas Mumbai is a lot more like New York in terms of the chaos, the freneticness of it all. Obviously, growing up in LA and, you know, Delhi being like Los Angeles, it was like, okay, this is familiar, and I know that's crappy, but that's the honest truth. Like, Delhi, because Delhi reminded me of home, I ended up liking it more than, you know, other places. That being said, I only visited 3 spots in India. I may find other fun spots that I, you know, favor even more. So we have yet to see. Prasanth Selvarajah, you should watch Vishwarupam, Rahul Bose, and 3 national award winner for best actor Kamal Hassan. They go against each other. There is a sequel coming end of this year. So I do intend to watch that at some point. I did the fight scene reaction, to which a lot of people had issues with because I didn't watch the first 14 minutes when I didn't have subtitles on it. I'm gonna watch the movie, so I'm not gonna go back and watch those 14 minutes. I'm just gonna watch the film at some point. I don't think I have the movie here, so I'll have to figure out a way to find it and watch it. And I'm definitely gonna watch it before the sequel comes out. Yanzi Lama, there's no comment here, but just a contribution. Just wanna give you a shout out, thank you so much. Prasanth Selvarajah, what next South Indian film you going to watch? I forget the name of it. There's this movie about an Air Force pilot who's in love with this girl, and there's like this drama, and that was the next one I wanted to watch. I don't know how I'm gonna get my hands on it now that it's not in theaters anymore, because it was in theaters while I was sick. And once I was done being sick, it was gone. I reached out to the company and asked them to send me like a link or something so I can screen it and review it. They didn't send me one, unfortunately, so I'll have to get my hands on that another way. Hopefully it comes out on Blu-ray or something soon so I can check it out. Ashok Raja Gopal, would love to see your India meetup with fans soon. I would love for you guys to see it also. That is at the very end of all the travel vlogs, which I've had a hard time getting to, but I will get to that as soon as I can, I promise. So Ambar Vohra, just wanna say thanks for contributing. You didn't leave a comment. From Whiny Ass, hi, Madar Cho JABY, just kidding, that's cute. Shankar Madhavan, hi JABY, sir, South Indian films and other regional film does not have a big collection of Blu-ray and DVD. Popular website is enthusun.tv. You might be the guy that actually was very generous. It is you, I'm pretty sure. You contributed and gave me a membership to that channel so I could watch those movies. Really, really big thank you to you, man, because that's just awesome. I didn't even know that website existed, so thank you for getting me that membership so I could check out those movies. I am definitely gonna be on top of that. Rajiv Kumar, there are many anime lovers in India and around the world. You could start with anime fight scenes, Bleach for starters, and I remember that now. Bhumika Dwivedi, hi JABY, I love your reactions. I hope you get time to do some more short stories. How did you come up with the name JABY? I answered this on the live stream as well. So the origins of the name JABY will be revealed after I get to 1 million subscribers, and it's very stupid and anticlimactic, but I made a point in my head when I was at like 10,000 subscribers. I'm like, I will tell everybody what JABY is. I will tell everyone about this name once I get to 1 million subscribers. And I just, even Sintel doesn't know the origins of that name. I told him the same exact thing I'm telling you guys. Once I get to 1 million, I'm gonna tell everybody. Pankaj Rai, thank you so much for your contribution. You didn't leave a comment. And same to Ratik Srivastava, you didn't leave a comment, but you contributed. Thank you so much, really appreciate it. Karthik Gotipati, which movie are you most excited for next? I'm excited for Amazing Spider-Man. I'm excited for Deadpool. Both, I enjoyed Deadpool Part 1 quite a bit, and The Amazing Spider-Man, or excuse me, Spider-Man Homecoming, that looks like such an exciting film, and it looks like they're revamping it in a very positive and great way. Shruti Amin, hope we meet next time you come, forever and always, KOAY fam, hashtag. Thank you so much, Shruti, really appreciate it. Tech Official, shout out, Ayush, and please do watch Das Vidayan. Shruti3333, just want to say thank you for contributing. You didn't leave a comment. Same to PB, same to Sam Lakhani, and same to Pratik Kar and Tech Official. All of you contributed without leaving a comment, but thank you. Thank you to Yogeshwar Lagad for your generous contribution. You're doing great, bro. Sometimes I find your views aligning with mine and astonish me that, okay, at least I'm not alone with that mindset. Anyway, great. We'll be happy to share ideas via email and Skype. Onward and forward, brother. Cool. Awesome, man. Pramod Maharaj. Any plans of visiting India again? I think I mentioned this in the live stream. My hope is to visit India again during a production that I'm a part of, or maybe India Comic-Con. I don't know, something like that. Like, I would like to go with a specific event or thing I'm participating in mind. That being said, I don't want another year, like a full year to go by before I visit India again, but you know, it all depends on circumstances. It depends on how the channel's doing at that time, if I'm able to afford going. I have no idea how it's gonna work when the time comes. I'd like to go again. There's a lot of India that I didn't get to do, and I'd like to go back and do more fan meetups. I was too afraid when I did it, when I went to India the first time. I'm saying that as if I've been to India a million times already. I was too afraid to do fan meetups just because I knew it was all me. I'm hoping, my big hope is that by the time I go to India again, I'll be able to set enough money aside where I can organize proper meetups so it doesn't feel like I'm doing everything and it's all overwhelming. Like I can hire someone to set it up for me, essentially. That's my hope anyway. We'll see if that happens. There's a question I didn't answer earlier, I just realized in one of the super chat questions. Someone was asking why I don't do more music video reactions. And the reason why is because my channel has been hit with copyright strikes in the past. Music in particular is a huge thing that gets people's videos flagged right away. That's why whenever I'm doing a trailer reaction, sometimes I'll hear the audio of the video go down because I'm lowering the audio on the keyboard because I don't want it to get my video flagged. So if I notice a song that most likely is part of a soundtrack that is copywritten and that might get me in trouble, I will lower the audio to avoid that issue altogether. Music videos, I only do it when I have permission to do it. We have done some music video reactions. T-Series is the only company so far that has legitimately given me permission to do music video reactions. No other companies have so far. If you guys wanna like plead to them on Twitter or whatever, that'd be cool. But me being one person, even though I have a sizable channel, me being one person and going, hey, company, Z Music or whoever, I'm just one dude. But if a bunch of subscribers are going to them and going, hey, can JABY KOAY do this? That'll make an impact of some kind. With time, I hope to do more, but right now it's just T-Series music videos that I'm doing reactions to. Now let's do some random comments. This is in response to PR Ka Punch Mana 2. So true, bro. I can't afford my girlfriend. I'm going to dump her. That's such an awful comment, but it's kind of awesome. I don't think he's telling the truth. He's just joking. This is a comment on Ban Baja Barat. JABY, it's a really good movie. I really advise you to watch it. So there was a lot of comments like this in the comment section of that video, and there was other comments saying the complete antithesis of that, but it seems like more people were very much in favor of the film, so I should check it out at some point. There's just a lot of movies I've got in the library I gotta watch first. Drishyam is on Netflix. JABY, you gotta watch it now. All right, I didn't know that's on Netflix, so that's really cool. Achara, an advice for you, never braid your hair again. I'm sure you know what I mean, LOL. I don't know about you, dude, but I never tell a girl what to do with her hair. There are certain things I just don't do, and that's one of them. Let me see if I can interpret this comment correctly. He left 3 comments and I don't know which order it is in. Please, if you don't like a movie, do not react. Your Hollywood is more shit like Matrix. Please laugh at your own movies. And stop reacting to Bollywood. We want you. It's you who want us. JABY, you now starting to annoy us. Don't get under your skin. I like you and your co-stars, but this shit I am not gonna stand. So he's talking about a video I put out a while ago, Ek the Tiger fight scene reaction. This came out in May 29th, 2016. That's almost a year ago. And 4 hours ago from this video being recorded, he left this comment. So I don't know what to say, but I get comments like this sometimes. If you don't like a movie, do not react. I didn't know if I liked Ek the Tiger or not until I haven't even watched the movie. I only watched that fight scene. So I don't even know if I like the movie. But I would imagine that this is a Salman Khan, a hardcore Salman Khan defender to the point where he cannot hear an opinion outside of what he feels. I'm not taking a crap on all Salman Khan lovers, defenders, whatever, but some people, a handful of people, are so staunchly a fan to such a strong degree that they cannot hear an outside opinion. And that goes not just for Salman Khan, but for like anything. Like you've got Star Wars fans and Marvel movie lovers or comic book lovers or DC comic book lovers who are so hardcore that if someone says something remotely bad in any remotely minute negative light, they're an ass. And, you know, I just don't agree with that kind of thinking. So good luck, Lofi. That's all I can say. I mean, and The Matrix was an awesome movie. I'm sorry, you are gravely mistaken there. I already watched the series, but I admit enjoyed more watching it again with all three of you. This is the first time I saw a reaction video of web series. Now I'm going to watch every video with you guys. At last, Achara, you are so adorable. Those comments warm my heart. I really appreciate hearing those things. Of course, this is true. What he said is true. You can't be ignorant or lying that too in such assembly where whole world is watching you. You know what? People can lie all the time. Presidents have lied. American presidents have lied. There are people who have lied Donald Trump lies all the time. There are people who are in very important positions that lie regularly, and they're called politicians. So that's why I preface things with saying, if this is true, because I haven't verified it, I haven't fact-checked it, I don't know where this guy comes from. It sounds legitimate, but how do I know for sure it's legitimate? Just because something sounds like it's true doesn't mean it is. I love British people, so please don't be uncomfortable. All British people were not bad that time. Some people were good that I heard from my grandfather, but I love British people. God bless you. I wish no country ever faced what all Indians faced. This is very true to life in that a collection of people will be, a country will be viewed as this thing, good or bad. And you can't do that. Like, this is obvious, I'm stating the obvious, but you can't assume that everyone feels the exact same way. Like, not all Americans are fat and over-consuming jerks that think that America's the best. There's a lot of Americans in liberal states who are like, yeah, America's not the best. JABY, it's not the Indian adaptation of Memento. In fact, it's a Hindi remake of Tamil movie with the same name. I haven't watched Gajini yet, but I did watch a fight scene from it, and that did seem to bear a resemblance to Memento insofar as he loses his memory. Of course, I need to watch Gajini to make a full assessment of that. This is a comment I've seen a number of times. It's mostly based on Mahabharata and Ramayana, the two Indian epics. People, I think, misconstrued what I said a little bit, or maybe I just didn't communicate it clearly enough, but some people seemed to think that I was saying Bahubali or Bahubali 2 was based on some American or Christian ideas, and I never said that. I just said that it reminded me of those things. I am sure that it was based on these two works that you've mentioned, that a lot of people have mentioned to me, but I was just saying, for me, with my experience, what this film reminds me of is X. Or Y. I've seen Amir Khan face to face, so I know one thing for sure, CGI is definitely not an option for him. Besides, he looks much younger off screen. I would love to believe you. I would love to take your word for it, but John Kiechala, I have no reason to believe you. I don't know who you are. I don't know, I've never met you personally, so you could just be saying that because you want to. I don't know. The fact of the matter is, I haven't seen Amir Khan face to face, but I have seen photos of him, and he looks very different from the way he did in the trailer during his young flashback scene. There are certain things that your face does as you age that you cannot undo. Like, it's just like, that's just, unless you get surgery. I don't know how he did it. I don't know if CGI was involved. I guess I was borrowing from what I know from American films. That's my fault in a way. But in American films, when they want to make like Robert Downey Jr. younger, they had to use CGI for, what was it, for Avengers or no, Captain America Civil War? One of the movies, I forget which one it is. But there was a scene where he's younger, and they obviously did CGI. Benjamin Button, CGI. If Amir Khan didn't use CGI, then cool, I don't know. To be perfectly honest, I don't care that much. But if he did, cool. If he didn't, I don't care. It's not a big deal. The point is it a good movie? Yes, that's it. Actually, muscles are lighter than fat. I was reading something about this, and muscle is more dense than fat. My understanding for the longest time was that muscle weighs more than fat, but it's just more dense because, you know, 1,000 pounds of feathers and 1,000 pounds of bricks both weigh 1,000 pounds. So you can't say that tissues are heavier than bricks. It's like a pound of tissues weighs as much as a pound of bricks. It comes to the same thing, but bricks are more dense and tissues are more, You guys always assume too much before watching the movie. Actually, we don't. We watch the trailer and make an assessment off of the trailer. We're assuming things based on the information we are given. Conversation happens, or ideas, you know, are fed to us from the trailer, and we go, okay, I think this is what it's about, and this is how I feel about that. There's nothing inherently wrong with that. It's just, yeah. Well, that's what we do on trailer reactions, dude. He said thread carefully. Tread carefully, one wrong comment on Sachin, and trust me, you would have 1 billion people on warpath against you. Ask Maria Sharapova. How do you guys feel about that? This is a question I put to you guys who are watching this. How do you feel about that? That if you say something like negative, remotely negative against someone who is adored by a lot of people, that suddenly that person is the worst person in the world. Okay, I know this is a weird comparison, but just try to follow me through on this one. At one point, it was believed that the Earth was the center of the universe, and anyone who said otherwise was considered crazy and ridiculed. And it was preposterous that to think otherwise, that the Earth wasn't the center of the universe. Surely it's obvious. I try my best. Even when I love something, I've caught myself getting really passionately frustrated with people where they say something that I feel is totally wrong. Like, for instance, with the movie Noah, I was trying to get more people to watch it because I knew that a lot of people had a reluctance to watch it. I love that movie. And when I spoke to a number of people about it, they were telling me how they weren't gonna see it because their friend told them that Transformers were in it. And it just made me upset and angry, and I got very passionately defensive about it. Looking back, I realized that was really silly. I get really passionately argumentative about the movie The Notebook. Whenever I find out a girl likes The Notebook, I get really mad, and I go, why? Why do you like The Notebook? It's stupid because of these reasons here. I know what it's like to be that passionate person and defend your ideas strongly, but I try not to just, you know, paint over, like with a paintbrush, just broadly go, this person's an asshole, doesn't know anything because they feel this one thing. They may feel one thing that they disagree with you on, but then everything else, then maybe you might believe that they're a beautiful person otherwise, and you wouldn't know that because you just wrote them off because of this one idea that they happen to disagree with you on, and I try not to be that person. Again, from Vinit Chauhan, all soldiers are well trained, so that's why they keep shooting while running. I don't know if you've ever shot a gun or tried to shoot anything, a bow and arrow or whatever. It's pretty hard to shoot just standing still. Yeah, people are well trained, but it takes like superhero level skill to run and shoot with supreme accuracy. It's just like, whenever I see that in the movies, I kind of laugh. Is it possible? Sure. Are there people who are that skilled? Sure, you know, maybe. The likelihood of hitting your target with supreme accuracy while you're running and jumping is it's much smaller. Whenever you see footage of people in war, they're not running and shooting. They're taking aim and shooting and then ducking for cover. Now I'm sure, because I said that, a bunch of people are gonna shoot me a bunch of links with people in war battles who are running and shooting at the same time. In my opinion, when people are running and shooting, it's just to create cover fire. It's not to actually hit anything. I love comments like this. You are an idiot, but he spelled you as YU. I'm like, dude, you might want to think about what you just said there. How did I miss this? LMFAO, hilarious, LOL, good job. Thank you, man, I appreciate that. A lot of people, I don't think, realized that it was a comedy, that it was supposed to be funny. While Hunter had serious moments, it was mostly supposed to be funny. Some people, I think, took the film the wrong way and didn't realize that. Again, from Vinit Chauhan, it's very easy to get a driver's license in India. When you go to the test, you are supposed to drive in a straight road, which is completely empty, and then stop at certain points. That's it. So you don't know who is a good or bad driver until you see that person driving traffic. And sometimes just hand over $1,000, you get a license without any exam. In India, if a lady driver hits another vehicle, the crowd which gathers blames the man who got hit because she is a lady. You don't know anything about Indian traffic, bro. All that stuff you just said, I'm not knowledgeable on, except for the last one. I have an idea of Indian traffic. I did spend time in India, so I've gotten a sense as to what traffic can be like in different parts of India. That's all I can say. That's my only defense, is that I do have an idea as to what Indian traffic is like. All the other stuff you said, I am not familiar with. Review was honest and perfect, but this time you missed mentioning acting of villain and hero. So I actually did mention the acting of the villain near the beginning of that review. There's a part 1 and a part 2, and if you didn't watch part 1, then you missed me saying that probably. I don't remember, actually. But what I said was that the acting of the villains was more dramatic and over the top, and it was more melodramatic, whereas other people in the film seemed to be more grounded and real. That was the thing that stood out to me with the bad guys, because with their acting, with the bad guys, the music was also very loud and melodramatic. There was only one point in the film where the acting wasn't so huge, and that was when, this is a spoiler, so never mind. But there was a scene when the older guy, with the funny hand, that villain, when he was misleading somebody. During the scene when he was misleading that person, his acting was actually very grounded and real. But then after that, it went right back into the big acting again. If the two movies were in order, then the question wouldn't have aroused why Katappa killed Bahubali, which is the first reason to make people curious about both the films and make them a blockbuster. So whatever decision SSR Sir took for the films is the best undoubtedly. I've responded to this, but people were still like, no, you're wrong. Some people. The fact of the matter is that if you've got this beautiful epic film, and it's well done, and then you leave a question at the end of what happens to Bahubali's son, do you really think that no one's gonna watch the sequel? I'm pretty sure people will. I'm pretty sure people are gonna be curious enough off of their love for the first one to go watch the second one. Even if the first one didn't end on a cliffhanger, I'm pretty sure they would watch the sequel. Just like Batman Begins was a film that was very well received. So when The Dark Knight came out, even though Batman Begins didn't end on a question, The Dark Knight, a lot of people wanted to watch it. A sequel can still get a lot of people interested, even if the first one doesn't end on a suspenseful cliffhanger. So you didn't necessarily need that. Was the cliffhanger cool? Yeah, it's cool. It made me curious. It made me want to check out the second one. Does that mean it's the best way? No, it doesn't. There's other ways you can do it. I still stand by what I said before, which is if the films were in order, I think that they would have been more effective in connecting you with Bahubali's son. I was connected with Bahubali's son, and then I lost that connection for most of that story. And then to have him back all of a sudden, I'm like, okay, well, I remember who this guy is, but I don't have the connection I had with him before because it's been a long time since I've spent time with that character. That being said, it's a valid way to go, and I think that me not being as connected to Bahubali's son was more a symptom of it being split into two movies, and there not being this period in Bahubali 2 where you get re-familiar with Bahubali's son again. If they had that, then I would have been more fine, I guess. And the order in which the films are done is cool. But because they didn't have a reintroduction of getting to know him, getting to know the people he's surrounded by, it made it a little bit harder to connect to him. Who the duck she thinks she is, being an Indian and didn't know shit about India. So this is exactly why I am hesitant to bring fans that are local or whatever on the channel. Even makes me a little bit hesitant to bring Indians on the channel, to be honest, because I get afraid that any Indian I bring on is going to be heavily criticized, and that makes me feel awful. It makes me feel really bad whenever that happens, because it's like, it's harder to criticize someone who's not Indian next to me because they're not familiar with Indian culture, they're not familiar with Indian films, they're not, I am, for the most part, introducing them to Bollywood or to Indian cinema. And so it's harder to criticize that person unless they're just completely closed-minded, in which case they're probably not doing that many Indian reactions on my channel to begin with. If I bring on an Indian, there's this expectation, whether or not they grew up in India, that they are familiar with Indian culture, that they're familiar with the movies, they're familiar with all the people from India and the history and this and that and the third. And it's like, that's a lot of pressure for any person sitting next to me who's Indian. I feel bad, and like it's not always someone sitting next to me. Sometimes it's someone I'm talking to on Skype, and I've seen this rain, this torrential rain of hatred on that person just because like they didn't tell me a certain thing or whatever. Like it happened with Ravina, it happened with Mumita, it happened with any number of people, and it's just like, I just feel bad. I don't know what to do about that. I don't know how to move forward with that. I've seen a lot of fans asking if they can react with me or whatever, and it's like, that's the reason I don't really respond to those questions, because I don't want to see anyone else fall under that fire. it hurts me, and then I have to go on YouTube and defend them and this and that, and it's like, that's just a lot of stress. I don't like this comment is what I mean to say. It's like this is an unnecessarily mean comment to Mohitha. Maybe she is uninformed. Maybe she's a bad Indian, and I don't mean that. I don't know if she is, I don't know if she isn't, but it's like, why does that need to be said that way? Just express, I wish she told you this. It's too bad she didn't know this. Like, why does it have to be that she's that she doesn't know shit about India? Hi JABY, I just stumbled across your channel with this video. I just wanted to recommend that you do watch this movie. It's the best Malayalam movie that has released in the last couple of years. I figured that from a couple of your other videos that you enjoy movies with good performances, good direction, good story, and a message. All things that anyone should enjoy from a movie. This movie has all of the above. The trailer unfortunately didn't depict all aspects of the movie. I also know that you have a couple of movies on your to-watch list already, but please consider adding this film as well. Thank you for that. I don't know, like, there's not really a question in there that I can answer, but this comment did make me want to say, there are some people who get upset and they go, you know, I've been commenting you and telling you to watch this. I've been requesting you a long time to watch this, and you don't respond. You still haven't done my requests. And I just want to say to that, like, all the comments you have watched me respond to up to now have only come in the last 10 hours. I get a lot of comments, and it's literally impossible for me to look at every single one and respond and adhere to the request of every single one. I try my best to read every comment, but it's like, I hope this video illustrates to you just how many comments I get. Like, this is me kind of just browsing through the comments kind of randomly from the last 10 hours. And I apologize to those of you who I haven't responded to. I wish I could get to all your comments. I try my best. I try my best to, you know, respond right then and there when I see it, so I don't lose it and I don't forget it. Again, I apologize to any of you who I haven't responded to, who have been trying to get my attention, who have been commenting a lot. I feel bad. I honestly feel bad. Like, I wish I had the time to respond to all of them. Anyways, you guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me and checking out this video. If you guys enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments how you felt about this video, how it was conducted. If you've got ideas for a better way to do it, please let me know. I'm open to ideas. As far as I know, this is the best way to handle this. And yeah, so anyways, I'm JABY KOAY. Thank you so much. I love you all. Peace out.